we're just talking here, and a lot of people got interested in our talk, and this is just happening by the minute. I really don't know what that means, or what's the limit. What are the limits of this? But
yeah, probably nobody know. Everyone has a theory, but nobody in this room knows what's going to happen.
Are your colleagues in the chamber? Are they wondering like what you're up to right now? They're like, what's he doing on his phone? Are they tuning in as well?
I don't see any deputies.
There's some mayors. The
mayor of the capital is here.
Yeah, the mayor of San Salvador is here right now.
In this room?
Yeah, he's here. Yes. Yeah, I'm seeing his picture here, and also our ambassador to the United States is here. But I don't see much government officials. Let me see. Well, also our representative to the Central American Bank, which is a very important bank for us, is here. I'm seeing his picture, Luis Rodriguez.
He's actually a supporter of this bill, so that's good.
And he's a banker, and he's a representative of the Central American Bank, so that's important.
Mr. President, as you kind of rattle off a bunch of the politicians that are here, and Kareem, maybe you can chime in on this as well. How much effort did you guys go through before the video over the weekend at the Bitcoin conference in terms of building consensus among other politicians and people in the Congress and maybe various jurisdictions within the country versus this was something that you guys felt was the right decision and you kind of unilaterally proposed this, understanding that you had kind of the votes in Congress?
Well, the good thing about El Salvador is that in politics, the opinion of the people is pretty homogeneous. People are supporting. I mean, right now the president has 90% approval rating, and the latest Gallup poll, which is an international poll, it's not like in North Korea where the president there has like 125% approval rating, right, or something. So that's pretty good. I mean, people really want change here. And they have been defrauded so many times that people are starting to see new stuff as the way to go forward. So it was not hard to get people on board, at least the majority. And we're not talking about a small majority or just the majority. It is a big majority who support this.
Got it. And then I apologize for asking again, but people will not stop incessantly DMing me this question. They continue to ask Mr. President what the plan is in terms of holding Bitcoin on the balance sheet. It would make you one of the first countries, if not the first country, to do it. But any plans there that you could speak to?
We're going to hold probably $150 million in the trust fund, but it's not going to be a reserve. It's going to be a trust fund, and it's not going to be in the central bank, but in our development bank. But I think that's a huge step, and things are going to evolve, probably not only in El Salvador, but in the world. So our plans right now is to hold at least $150 million in our trust fund. And I know that's not a huge sum, but for us it's quite considerable. And it's going to be in our development bank. So for the plans as of right now, it's that. But probably in the future, I don't know. This is evolving very fast. So we're not ruling out having Bitcoin in our reserves in the near future. But we're not. This law doesn't include holding Bitcoin in their reserves.
And it's $150 million equivalent in Bitcoin, or $150 million?
Dollars.
So it's not holding It's not holding Bitcoin in the development bank's trust fund, or it is holding Bitcoin.
No,
it's not. Okay.
No, it's dollars. We're gonna buy the $150 million out of the transactions of common folks. So we're gonna fill the trust fund coffers with Bitcoin, but we're gonna buy them with dollars. So at the end, we're gonna hold at least $150 million equivalent of Bitcoin, but that hasn't been bought yet because it's gonna be bought in the small transactions of 0.00001 bitcoins. So at the end, we're gonna hold an equivalent. We're gonna hold $150 million equivalent in Bitcoin, but right now we're not holding any Bitcoin. So the trust fund is gonna buy the transactions, and it's gonna be filled with Bitcoin. But that Bitcoin is gonna come from common folks that are opting out of the deposits in Bitcoin, and it's interchanging those Bitcoins in US dollars. So we're gonna provide those US dollars, and we're gonna get the Bitcoin in exchange. So at the end, not at the end, but in a couple of months, the development bank will hold approximately $150 million equivalent in Bitcoin.
And then will you fund it with more dollars at that point, or have you thought about once you get $150 million worth of Bitcoin in the development bank, what happens then? Who funds the conversion of dollars to Bitcoin?
No, that's not the total. That's like how you say in English? It's like
the starter
approximation. It's like like a proximity, like a calculation of how much Bitcoin will be held in the trust fund, since the trust fund needs to have fresh US dollars.